A woman named Jessica says that she has recently purchased a fun playhouse for her daughter that looks very similar to their own house, complete with its own motion-sensing doorbell camera. Up for a house tour of Emma's table. Then Emma, I'm going to show them the door. Okay. She really wanted it to have a doorbell camera like our front door. But since then, things around their house have gotten a little spooky. Jessica's daughter says that she sometimes sees a quote-unquote scary guy in their house. What guy? The guy. The guy is at the door. Guy. Can we go together? Yeah. Do you want to open the door, or you want mommy to open it? I want mommy to open it. Okay. He's in there. The guy. Yeah. He's scary. He's scary. I'm scared. It's okay. No. Jessica's daughter claims that the scary guy is in her room, but Jess doesn't see anyone or anything. She just dismisses the whole incident as likely being her daughter's overactive imagination. But then, a few nights later, something happens that absolutely freaks Jessica out. Jess is sitting in her living room when she suddenly receives a motion alert. Not from her own doorbell camera, but from the one on her daughter's little playroom house. When Jessica checks the notification, what she sees is like something right out of a horror movie. Heat, heat, 6, heat, 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 heat. Now, a note on this clip. This is not a motion camera that pans around the room on its own motor. This camera is actually attached to the playhouse door. So, this back and forth motion means that the playhouse door is actually opening and closing. But it gets even weirder, because the camera repeatedly catches a little playtime mannequin head in the corner of the playhouse, and its hair seems to be lifted up by some unseen force, and then just suddenly drops back down. After this, Jessica has had about enough. She says that she took down the little playhouse, but her daughter still sometimes says that she sees the quote-unquote scary guy back in their house. On March 6th, 2015, Jennifer Gebeck was driving home with her 8-month-old daughter, Lily, secured in her car seat in the back. While driving along a lonely road in Utah, Jennifer lost control of her SUV and crashed off the side of a bridge, flipping her car upside down into the freezing water of the Spanish Fork River. Most of the car was submerged in the icy water, and tragically, Jennifer Gebeck passed away almost instantly. However, luckily, the car was positioned in a way that Jennifer's 8-month-old baby, Lily, was not plunged into the freezing water. The baby was held in place in her car seat in the back. Many hours later, the car is spotted in the river, and emergency first responders arrive on the scene. 68. Go ahead. What have you got? What have you got? But as the police and firemen approached the car, they heard something that they really can't explain. We heard something saying, help us inside. And so, it was at that point that we, said, we have to get in that car now. And we all, the 4 of us, were able to push the car on its side. And that's when I looked inside and was able to see, the child infant strapped in the back seat. Oh God, there's a baby. Rye, pass her up, pass her up, pass her up. Right here, right here. Go, 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 go. She's definitely hypothermic. She's breathing. Throw up in there. Yeah, go. Let's go. So, you actually heard a voice calling out, help me. Do you know who that was? We assumed, or I assumed, that it was someone in the car saying, help me. That's why we responded saying, we're trying. We're going to get inside and help you. We're doing the best we can. We're helping. We're coming. It wasn't until after we flipped it that we saw, the mother, who we know now, was deceased at the time, and the child was in the back seat. Even stranger, although all 4 of the early responders say that they heard the strange, unexplained voice of a woman pleading for help, the officers' body cameras did not pick up any voice at all. Here, get over here, Bedos. We're helping. We're coming. To me, it was plain as day because I remember hearing a voice. It didn't sound like a child. Just saying, help me. Jennifer Gebek's family believes that it was the voice of Jennifer's spirit, calling out from the great beyond to try to urge the emergency workers to hurry to save her baby daughter, Lily. She was just, a very compassionate and caring person. She always wanted to bend over backwards for her loved ones. She loved Lily with all her heart. She was the love of her life. The emergency team that was on the scene says that they simply can't explain what they heard. We're helping. We're coming. The Lamb House Seance. Paranormal enthusiast James White has a very spooky business. He professionally arranges and hosts seances in allegedly haunted and abandoned buildings in Toronto, Canada. James is hosting a seance at the historic Lamb House with a group of curious participants. The Lamb House is a former inn that was built in 1860, and it is said to be extremely haunted. Now, James White and his group are about to witness something absolutely terrifying. No, she's breaking her hand right now. Okay, so Nor. So, somebody in this room is trying to harm you. Is it a person? If so, give me a sign. Are they in this room? Is it a male? Oh my God. Oh my God. They hold him back. Keep his chair tipped backward. Why is he chair back? I did not move it. Oh. Just hold. Yeah. Keep your hands together. Keep your hands together. Grab him as soon as he fell back. Do not break. Okay. It did break when he fell over. Okay. So actually, yeah. Like he pulled your chair. While in the middle of a seance, one participant is forcefully yanked backwards out of his chair by an unseen force. Is it a male? The door behind me was open and I had my partner sitting beside me, and we had the door like the door was open behind us, and we thought we heard something back there, but nothing was there. So we turned and I looked and I saw nothing. So I turned my head back towards the group like the circle, and we're all holding hands. And then all of a sudden I just felt like this force just come and pull me back, and it was like aggressive. It wasn't like calm. It was aggressive, like it was trying to kill me or something. I don't even know. My feet were like flat on the ground. I wasn't moving. I was holding hands with the people beside me, and it just pulled me, and it like felt like someone was coming up behind me, like standing up behind me as I'm sitting in the chair, and like taking my shoulders and like pulling me towards the mirror. It was crazy. Fellow participants and eyewitnesses from the seance took to Instagram to share their stories about the incident. One seance witness had this to say about the strange event. I sat across from him when this happened, and it was fantastic to see. Another witness says, I was there. Another epic seance with @James White Seance. So did James White capture evidence of an unknown entity aggressively grabbing an innocent visitor at the Lamb House? I leave it up to you to decide. Is it a male? A woman named Ray says that her family has experienced many strange things since they moved into their new home. Ray says that the house's basement is especially creepy. She says that even on warm days, the temperature down there is always freezing. And she says that she feels like something is watching her when she's down there. Even weirder, the family often hears strange, unexplained sounds coming from the basement. But things in their house get even weirder after Ray buys her son Andrew a creepy large Elmo balloon. You see, the balloon seems to move around the house with a mind of its own. Babe, come here. Yeah, it's the just like keeps going down to the basement. Inexplicably, the balloon often just seems to head directly toward their basement door, literally stopped at the basement door again. Weirdly, Rai says that the balloon will only enter the basement door if her son follows after it. Andrew, oh my God. And so the obvious thought here is, well, it's just a balloon caught in a draft and doing balloon stuff. But things get even weirder because it seems the creepy Elmo balloon isn't content to only roam the downstairs. One night, the family dogs start going nuts, and Rai goes to investigate. What she finds chills her to her core. Dude, quiet. It's a creepy dude. What the? So, Now, the obvious question is, why doesn't she just pop the balloon, throw it in the trash, and be done? But Rai says that her son is very attached to the balloon and refuses to let them take it away. So, the creepy Elmo balloon stays. But Rai will soon seriously regret this decision. Dad, did you see it? A strangely shaped forehead seems to be peeking around the top edge of the basement door. When slowed down, we can even see what looks like a bizarre set of dark eyes and the bridge of a nose. So, is Ray's house haunted by an entity that is manipulating this Elmo balloon? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. If you see something that you think would be perfect for the top 5, email me at nukestop5gmail.com. You can also tag me on TikTok at nukestop5official. And be sure to tag me only at nukestop5official because there are a lot of fake accounts on there. Late one night in Mexico City, a concerned woman calls the local police saying that she hears strange, unexplained noises coming from her son's apartment just above her. The problem is her son is out of town and the apartment should be empty. The police quickly arrive on the scene, but they don't find anyone inside. No robber, no trespasser. However, the officers do hear strange noises like banging and the low murmur of voices. They are concerned that someone might be hiding inside the residence. So, the officers radio headquarters and ask that a nearby public CCTV camera be focused on the windows of the upstairs apartment. What the camera captures is downright chilling to the face. Go to the camera. The CCTV camera captures the ghostly figures of 3 children looking out the window as the police leave. The apartment building's longtime security guard claims that every 10 years, this same strange phenomenon happens and no one knows how or why. He says that no children have ever lived in that apartment, so he has no idea who or what this might be. To this day, the footage remains a mystery. Give me shelter. YouTuber Tyson Pierce has a channel dedicated to travel, the outdoors, and basic survival in nature. But on one fateful day, all of his training is put to the ultimate test when something happens that is absolutely terrifying. Tyson is out in the middle of nowhere in Hawkesbury, Ontario, Canada, building what he calls a Viking turf house survival hut. Tagging along with him to help are his younger brother and his friend. The guys are about halfway through building the Viking hut when suddenly an urgent weather warning comes through on Tyson's phone. Environment Canada has issued a severe thunderstorm warning. Mobile coverage area. Take cover immediately if threatened. But he and the boys are in the middle of nowhere with no time to get out of there. Now, before I show this, in accordance with YouTube rules, let me note that absolutely no one was hurt in this video. But this frightening scene is what happened as the storm rolled in. Holy. What the hell? Oh my God. Holy. I'm going check. No, no, no. And there. Tornado. Tornado. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Stay. 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 Stay low. Leaving. No. Stay. 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 Oh buddy. Stay. 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 Synth. This wall. In this wall. And this wall. Stay. No. No. We're good. We're good. We're good. No. We're dying. We're dying. We're dying. No. Stay, bro. Oh my God. Ice. Stay. Stay. Miguel. Stay. Holy. Please. Good. Sir. Please. God. Please. Oh my God. No. Please. Go stay, please. Let me repeat that in accordance with YouTube rules. None of these guys were hurt. Because of the amazing stability of Tyson's shelter, everyone survived and made it out without a scrape. Tyson returns a few days after the storm to check out his shelter and the surrounding woods. That's my cabin. 2 trees. 2. That's my cabin right there. That is insane. Oh, that's Snap though. Snap. I need to clear the trees. That's Snap there as well. The trees around the shelter have been uprooted and blown to the ground. but the shelter is still there. The guys are even able to find their bikes buried under one of the downed trees. It goes that loud. Oh yes. Oh my God. No way. Our bikes are good. Wow. Good spot. My bike. Our bikes are good. So Tyson's amazing nature shelter actually saved their lives. He considers it a blessing that they were all able to escape without injury. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's cold outside, but you can keep warm in some all-new Nuke's Top 5 merch. Now, of course, we have t-shirts, hoodies, and coffee mugs, but we also have blankets, pillows, and long sleeves. We've even got stockings and wrapping paper. Anyway, shipping is free, and be sure to order by December 10th to get delivery before Christmas. Go to nukestopif.com to shop now, or like whenever you feel like it, maybe after the video. A grave situation. A young woman named Brett lives on a large horse ranch in the mountains. She says that lately things around the ranch have gotten a little strange. Well, actually, they've gotten a lot strange. It all starts one day when Britt's dog Josie just completely freaks out. So, I'm recording this just in the off chance that no one believes me. Maybe I can catch it. And by the way, I have a freaking cemetery in my front yard. I was just inside. I'm by myself with my dog. She just got running from upstairs. You can hear her working. Josie. Yeah, she's just been staring at that. And then she started barking, and she growled. And when she growled, I kind of like booked it, but I don't really know. Like that's usually like her stance, while she's waiting for me to come home, and I'm just like, is she waiting for someone to walk out of that closet? Like, I just don't really know what she's staring at, because again, like this is usually how she looks when she's waiting for me to come in, and I'm just like, what? What is it? What is it? The dog starts ferociously barking at the upstairs bedroom closet for absolutely no reason. But little Joss's strange behavior doesn't stop there. As Britt mentioned, she has a private cemetery in front of her house where some of her family members and also several of their deceased pets are all buried together. Recently, the dog Josie has just started staring at the small graveyard. Josie, what's going on? The horses on the ranch often just stare toward the small cemetery as well. Well, that's not creepy. Seriously, what are you two looking at? What is it? But now, weirdest of all, Britt says that lately the neighbor's cows have started to wander over to her property, and they also just weirdly stand around the small graveyard. See, this is what I'm talking about. They literally just come and hang out here all the time. Now, it's a newer development. Like why they just kind of come and really freeze around this area, and they just kind of will freeze and not move. So yeah, what's up? Britt is confused and a little creeped out by all of the animals' strange behavior, but things are about to take an even more terrifying turn. One night, Britt orders some food from Uber Eats. The driver is a bit disturbed by the gathered cows at the graveyard, but he completes his delivery, and then things just get weird. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. Yeah, this location is outside. No hair. Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Have a good night. Oh my God. No, they're actually not mine. They're not showing up. No, they come hang out around here every night. Yeah. Why would you do this in your hand? Oh my God. Hi. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. Every freaking night, like even at night, they even come and hang out here, and they just like stand and like, are you for real right now? Something sets off the alarm inside Britt's house, and as she carefully walks back inside, some unseen force seems to actually grab and pull her shirt. She drops her food in terror and runs back out. Britt says that she was too afraid to return to the house. She spent the rest of the night in the family RV that was parked outside off the wall. Now, this next clip is over 12 years old and was filmed with someone's phone pointed at a CCTV screen. So, Obviously, it's complete potato quality, but the clip was so strange that I just had to include it in the list. Now, this video was filmed in the Theodela Plaza in Guadalajara, Mexico. Through the years, many workers and shoppers at the plaza claim to have experienced strange, unexplained events. Workers say that they often hear a child running and playing in the dead of night. And many shoppers claim to have seen a little boy who then vanished right before their eyes. So late one night after closing, security guards at the plaza spot a lone little boy running through the back hallways all alone. Some plaza workers are reviewing the footage, and they are shocked by what they see. The little boy seems to disappear right through a closed and locked door in one of the hallways, perhaps even right through the actual wall. A security guard is dispatched to go find the little boy, and things get even creepier. No. Yeah. The security guard unlocks the door and goes in, but finds no one inside the locked room. But the plaza workers watch in disbelief as the little boy's head appears again right beside the guard, and he seems to be peeking right out of the actual wall above the man's head. So, could this be the little boy ghost that plaza shoppers claim to see? Let me know what you think. Intruders. A young woman named Jeanette moved into a new apartment, but not long after, as she is recording herself practicing a new dance routine, something happens that is truly terrifying. Hi Daniel. Remember your friends? I don't. Please get out of my apartment. Please go my apartment. Luckily, Jeanette escapes unharmed. She calls the police and they check her apartment, but the intruder is no longer there. Jeanette says that the man was never caught. But it gets even weirder because after Jeanette uploaded the video of her frightening experience, observant viewers notice something very strange. As Jeanette is fleeing her apartment, something seems to open the door right in front of her, as if clearing her path so that she can get away. Please get out of my apartment. Please get go of my apartment. Come on. Jeanette says that she has no idea how this could have happened. I don't know. I'm just as confused as you guys are. And this is why I think it's like a divine thing, or like, I don't know, a ghost, or it's not easy. So it's not like just like the wind pushed it or anything. I think someone actually, or something. I don't know. So, now let's cut ahead to a few days later. Jeanette and her friend are unboxing some of her belongings as she continues to move into her new apartment. But her friend sees something that gives her the chills. What? You saw a man in your bedroom? You saw a man in my bedroom. He was right there between a green table and the bed against the wall like this. No, Janet's friend says that she saw a man just standing in the bedroom. But now the man is gone. A few days later, and again Jeanette hears some strange noises from somewhere in her apartment. What happens next is pure nightmare fuel. What? Please. Heat. Heat. Jeanette considers running out the front door. But instead, she rushes into her nearby bedroom and grabs her pepper spray. But as she turns around, her blood runs cold as she sees something slowly make a deep imprint on her mattress, almost as if some spirit actually sits down on her bed. As she runs out of the room in fear, she turns, and the imprint on the bed is gone. Janet says that she is now terrified of the weird things going on in her new apartment. She says that friends have been staying with her until she can decide just what to do. Witchboard. A woman is doing a solo investigation of a haunted house and is using a Ouija board to contact a spirit named Brenda that she believes inhabits the home. But as she conducts her Ouija board session, she begins to suspect that she might be in contact with something much more sinister. Am I dealing, or am I speaking with the devil right now through this Ouija board? It is not Brenda. You've just said it's Brenda. It's not Brenda, is it? Oh my God. I'm trying to take deep breaths. Who is through who? Who am I communicating? I'm losing my who am I communicating with through this world. My nose is bleeding right now. Oh my God, the demon it's trying to say. I know I got no tissue, but my nose is bleeding right now. The board is moving. Oh my God, Mike. That's it. I'm done. I'm off. I'm sorry, guys. She hears a strange sound from the floor above her, and her nose starts to bleed. But still, she decides to continue her session. Suddenly, the Ouija board flies off the table, and finally she decides that she has had about enough, and she just gets out of there. The white lie Bathy If you hike an hour into the remote countryside of Scotland, you can find the old 18th century White Lagon Bothy, a mountain cabin that's free to use for travelers. The creepy old cabin has no electricity, no running water, and perhaps most disturbing of all, there are no locks on any of the doors. Over the years, hundreds of travelers have visited the White Lagon Bothy, and many of these visitors claim to have had strange, unexplained experiences while staying there. A few outdoor and travel YouTube channels have visited the White Lagon Bothy as well, and most have experienced at least something a little weird while staying there. Really quite scared about staying here. To be honest, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it really will be fine. Again, let me stress that all of the following videos were recorded by travel and outdoor channels. None of these people are ghost hunters, and in fact, every one of these YouTubers say they don't even believe in ghosts at all. I heard something move out, but they also can't explain what they experienced at the White Lagon Both. Today I'm going to be staying in a Bothy in Scotland for the first ever time. First up, seasoned solo traveler Ruth Ashling spent a night in the old Scottish cabin, and she found it a bit unnerving. So, I don't know why I'm feeling a little bit anxious, because I've stayed in a camper van so many times in different countries. I feel like here is just so remote, and to get away you have to hike over 1 hour like to get back to the camper van. So, maybe that's why. And also, there's no locks. So, on my camper van, I always lock the doors. Maybe that's also why. I don't know. I don't know. Oh God. I'm hearing some strange noises. I don't know if it's maybe a mouse or it's the chimney. It feels really weird without curtains because I feel like someone could be standing outside and looking in the window. I don't. I feel really scared. I don't know why. I just feel really nervous. Ruth stays the full night at the cabin, but she doesn't exactly get a restful sleep. Last night, I was a bit scared. There were some strange noises, and I had some earplugs with me, so I put them in to block out the strange noises. God, I'm still hearing weird noises. Throughout the night, while completely alone, Ruth keeps hearing bizarre noises that creep her out, and oddly, she decides to just ignore the strange sounds and put in earplugs, which kind of seems like a bad idea when you're staying all alone in a cabin in the middle of nowhere and there are no locks on the doors. But to each their own. Bye-bye, Buffy. Next up, a camper that goes by the name Happy Hippie, who says that he does not believe in ghosts or the paranormal, has a similar creepy experience. I've set up my bed for the night, going to get the fire on when it gets darker. This will probably be me for most of the night now. I just get my music on, enjoy this beautiful fire, and then get back outside tomorrow in my hammock. I got one of them water filter straws, and it comes with 2 little bags as well, so you can attach the straw to that. But I've not got to you. Maybe this is the guests. There was no one there. I don't know if that's just people with me or something. I don't know if that's something they do. But I don't think it would be that family if, it was just a dad and his daughter and son. Oh well, we'll see. It was just knocking on the door again, and then I went out, but there was no one there. I don't know what's going on. I've not heard of any haunted bobbies or anything. I've never had weird, sake, just wanted a nice little puppy night. If you've watched all my videos before, you know I do like this. This is going to be a fun night. Can they walking around in the other room, and then I go in there, and it just stops. Oh, maybe I should just put my music on really loud and forget about it. Cameraman never dies, right? The Happy Hippie spends the night in the cabin, but the next day, he still can't explain just what happened. Good morning. Had a bit of an experience last night. Couldn't really explain what's happening next door with the noises, but I'm not really a believer in ghosts myself. It was a bit creepy, but I'm more of an alien guy. But if you're into ghosts and all that paranormal stuff, these are not the videos for you because this is not what I do. This is not what I'm about. I'm just a happy hippie hiking, living in nature, loving the world. I never have anything like this happen to me. So now, this next video is by far the creepiest footage ever recorded in the White Lagon Bothy. We're at a place called White Lagoon, Bothorthy. It was shot by Ben and Martin from the YouTube channels Adventure Outdoors and What's Not to Hike. So, we're in the Bothorthy. There's nobody else here. The two men travel to the White Lagoon both together, and they experience something that is truly terrifying. Found the Borthy bug. You put my glasses on though. So, this is popular, quite a popular both, by the looks of it. Someone actually stayed last night. It was nice and tidy when we came in. So, applauded to whoever stayed here last night. Well done. Absolutely spotless. Hold on a minute. I'm out. I'm out of here. No, no, no. No, it's getting late when a door suddenly slams shut all on its own. That was totally weird that the door just started to move on its own and then it just pretty much slammed shut. I mean, Marty's out there. I don't really want to come back in. He's in bits of... That was just the weirdest thing, wasn't it? But that terrifying, and I don't even swear. I'm swearing because I don't even, but I don't. But that was genuinely terrifying. Terrifying. I shot myself when it slammed. I just wanted out of here. There's something really, because I say it doesn't feel creepy. It doesn't feel like you're in the presence or anything. As I say, we don't really believe that stuff. There might be, stuff we can't explain, whatever, but we just don't believe in the whole ghosty spooks in the night kind of thing. Just don't. But that was generally terrifying, and I'm going to keep that door. I'm keeping it closed. Little do they know that things are about to get even weirder. Well, folks, it's probably about 10 minutes after our ordeal with the spooky door closing over there, and we're trying to rationalize it. I mean, I don't particularly believe in ghosts, and if there's more, but so we're kind of thinking that it might have been just like the backdraft of the wind. I mean, there's a storm going on outside. So yeah, but I still don't believe it was the wind. But it's the only when a wind's blowing that strong outside, and there's no I. It's the only rational expel. I don't know where it's from. I don't know where to go. This can't be right. I don't know. I know. It's black in here as well. I can't see the thing. So, there's a chair over there and it just started. It just started to move, which is no way. It's now bongus. I'm not having any all of this. That is moving. Jesus Christ, it is moving. That chair is moving. Just leave it. Christ. Well, I'm going to drink some more wine, I think. Christ. No, that's poltergeist. All that is that's poltergeist stuff. It's not. That's not ghosty. That's like evil spirit stuff. Chair sitting in the corner of the room inexplicably starts to slide across the floor on its own. And these two die-hard skeptics suddenly begin to wonder if they might be dealing with some sort of paranormal entity. But now a little nervous. They finish out their night stay in the other room and head out the next day. Now I want to point out again that the White Lagoon Borthothy has never been investigated by any ghost hunting team or ghost hunting YouTube channel. All of the footage shown here today was captured by outdoor explorers and campers that have never posted any video related to the paranormal before these clips. So, is the White Lagoon Bathi haunted? And would you dare to spend a night there? Let me know. A guide to the other side. A young woman named Diana posted a very disturbing video to Instagram. In the video, Diana and her brother are watching as the police arrive at a trailer at the edge of their property. The police are showing up for a wellness check after the sad, lonely man who rents the trailer has not been seen for weeks. It turns out that the man had unfortunately passed away inside the trailer. This is the footage. I'm right there. Right there. Wait, they're going up to Thomas. Please. So, wait. You said the light wasn't off. Yeah, exactly. And I knew that something was going on. That's a lot of cops. Holy. Oh my God. They're calling. They're coming out. Are they calling something in? We're going back over. What was Tom doing? Is there like an app you can check or something to figure out? Oh my Jesus. Abby is okay. Did you see it? The small shadow of a child can be seen lurking outside the trailer, seemingly lost and abandoned. But the police don't even notice, walking right by as if they can't even see the child. And then suddenly, the small child shadow just disappears. Watch again. The figure disappears into thin air right in front of the police, but they don't seem to see anyone. Viewers of the video pointed out that there was another odd apparition in this video, something that looks like the shadowy figure of a man standing in the trailer window. So, a few days later, Diana and her father go to check out the trailer, and things get really weird. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Geez. Oh my God. Oh my God. What was that? I don't know. Take more, geez. Whoa. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Did this guy have a kid? What is this? So, first Diana is terrified when a dead crow falls out of one of the cabinets, which seems odd as the man has only been deceased and out of the trailer for a few days. So, how did the bird get there? But next, Diana sees a child's paintings on the refrigerator. Her dad tells her that the man had a horrible tragedy where his young daughter passed away many years ago at a very young age. But the man kept her drawings and mourned her for the rest of his life, descending into sorrow and alcoholism. So, is this childlike shadow figure the man's daughter coming back to meet him as he passes to the other side? What do you think? Hunter or hunted? Nick and Ted from the YouTube channel The Hunting Public are out bow hunting on public lands in the remote wilderness of Missouri. Suddenly, they hear something that sends chills down their spines. Now, let me say before I show you these clips, in accordance with YouTube guidelines, no one is shown being hurt in the following video. There's absolutely no evidence that any crime was committed in this video, or that anyone was injured in any way. Alright, so while Nick and Ted are hunting, they hear a gunshot followed by some insane screaming. They immediately grab their camera and start recording. Get shot. Now, Nick and Ted are in such a remote area of the Missouri woods that they have no cell service to call the authorities, so all they can do is listen. I hate you. I mean, there ain't nothing out here. I keep getting chills all down my back. Yeah, somebody is screaming at the absolute toppler bunk over there. Very not good obscenities to someone else. I've never witnessed anybody screaming like that. Yeah, something not good's going on. Somebody else again. Nick tries to call someone to report the incident, but they still can't find a spot in the woods with cell service. We ain't got any service in here, so can't call the police and tell them to go over there and see what the heck's going on. But sound like something awful dang horror movie over there. I mean, a guy that's absolutely losing mind over there. Totally. At this point, Nick and Ted are totally freaked out. They just head back to their truck so that they can get out of there and call the police. I've heard some stuff that I feel needs to be reported to the police department. Okay, I was hunt me and a buddy were hunting, and at about 6:45, we heard gunshots, which is not uncommon. But then for 30 minutes straight or so, there was lots of screaming and just pee obscenities, and it sounded like something really bad was going on over there. And there was 20 or more. Gunshots ended up happening. I have pins dropped on a map about how far we were from where we think this was occurring. We didn't know what to do and we had no service. So, we're trying to report and see if anything had been reported about there. Days later, Nick and Ted provide an update on what happened after their terrifying encounter in the woods. So after that hunt, you can see we alerted proper authorities, and the days following that event, I had had some contact with the state game warden, and they told me that they found nothing on this situation, and they went in there, and there was nothing to be found. Even though Nick and Ted reported the disturbing incident and even provided GPS coordinates to local authorities, nothing was found at the site. There's absolutely no evidence that any kind of horrible event ever took place there. It freaked us out, and we really got unsettled by it, and we weren't scared that, someone wasn't coming after us, but we had heard something that it could have been. Your mind goes to think about what could that be, and, I immediately go to worst case scenario. So, Did Nick and Ted just hear someone having a random temper tantrum or a breakdown? Was it just someone freaking out and maybe just shooting guns at a tree stump? Or was it something much more disturbing? For the full-length version of this video, be sure to check out the channel, The Hunting Public, Sensing Something Bad. A guy named Nick takes care of his elderly grandmother who has dementia. One night, while his grandmother is having an episode, weird things start to happen around their house. It's just a rainbow. You're freaking me out. What is it? Nick's grandmother's dog starts to growl toward the kitchen for no reason. Then the roaming Roomba seems to randomly start and stop, as if it's sensing something right in front of it. But there's nothing there. And finally, something falls from the top of the fridge. Now, as for the randomly stopping Roomba, Nick later shows that the little Roomba is functioning normally, and usually only does this when it is about to collide with something like a person standing in front of it. Can you try to step in front of that? So, it just does that move away. So, that comment says that the Roomba doesn't do that unless someone's in front of us. And so in the video, we also see something fall. Well, Nick also explains this, and it's a little creepy. One of my grandma's little angels fell off the fridge last night. My grandma loves to collect little figurines. You see how far back they are? Genuinely. I mean, the significance of an angel falling and not legitimately anything else she has. Nick says that now both of his grandmother's dogs have become absolutely petrified of the kitchen. He says that both dogs sit and stare at the kitchen every night and often just refuse to enter that room. I was watching my show but then things get even creepier, because one night the Roomba at Nick's grandmother's house again just starts to act very strange. Cool. Whoa. Heat. Heat. Yo, heat. Well, that's cool. Jesus. Now, the Roomba following Nick around and crashing down the stairs is odd enough because, well, they're just not supposed to do that. But the Roomba flipping over on its own has absolutely no explanation. Nick says that his grandmother found the Roomba in the living room and placed it back in the kitchen. He says that since this, the Roomba has just not moved again despite having a full charge. But he does say that his grandma's two dogs are still scared of the device and often just stare at it. Night call. Late one night in Pueblo, Colorado, an emergency call comes in to the 911 dispatch center, but whoever made the call hangs up almost immediately. The 911 operators trace the call and find that it came from Imperial Memorial Gardens. Well, the weird thing is, Imperial Memorial Gardens is a funeral home surrounded by an 80-year-old cemetery, and it's 3:30 inches the morning, so no one should be there. Now, as standard procedure, the 911 emergency operators call the funeral home back to make sure everything is okay, and someone answers the phone. This is what the 911 operators hear. Hello. 911. This is Erica. How can I help you? Hello. 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 There's a lot of static, and a quiet male voice seems to say something a few times, but then the call just goes silent. Again, as part of standard procedure, the emergency operators send the police to check out the old funeral home. But when the officers arrive, they find the funeral home blocked up and all the lights are off. No one's there. Now, I tried to clean up the call audio as much as possible, but there's just not much there. Hello. Hello. So just who made this call, and what do you think they might be saying? A short stay. A guy named Brendan has a YouTube channel where he camps in his van in some strange and sometimes very dangerous locations across the UK. In this video, Brendan decided to camp overnight in the coastal village of Jaywick in Essex, England. Now, amongst other things, Jaywick is known as one of Britain's poorest towns and has a very high crime rate. In other words, it's not really the best place to be camping overnight in a van. But that doesn't stop Brendan. A little town in England called Jaywick, coined as one of the most deprived towns in the UK. And I thought, as soon as I'm in the area, I just had to go and see it. Brendan searches around and eventually finds a place to set up camp that is just outside of town and kind of in the middle of This will do me. I'm alone. But I mean, there's no other houses around me, so it's not as if I'm alone in a housing estate. Brendan sets up his bed in the van and lies down for a night's sleep. But around 2:30 inches the morning, things take a terrifying turn. I think someone's outside the half. Someone just dropped the door. Hey, right. Whoever that was has now gone. I'm going to get out of here. Oh my God. Oh, where's my phone? Someone with a flashlight skulls around outside Brendan's van, trying the door handles before smashing the window to get inside. Luckily, Brendan yells and sends the intruder running. He then hops in the driver's seat and just gets out of there. Brendan makes it out safe, but obviously is very shaken up by the whole ordeal. He decides to not only leave the town of Jaywick, but to drive all night, 3.5 hours, all the way back to his home. I just, quite frankly, just wanted to go home. I was really, I wasn't in a good mind space. After cleaning a little bit of broken glass from my driver's seat and the dashboard, you'd be surprised how far glass goes when it smashes. I've been finding little bits everywhere, but the van was in no fit state to continue camping in, and nor was my headspace, should we say. So, I made the long journey back home. I think it was a good 3.5 hour drive back to my house in Shrewsbury. Got there just before sunrise. Not a pleasant drive, to say the least. Despite this frightening encounter, Brendan still goes camping in his van and posts his adventures over on his YouTube channel. Brendan explores. Next stop, nowhere. 3 friends are on a summer trip to Spain, staying in a large high-rise hotel. One night, they hop on the elevator to head down to the lobby, but that's when things start to go very wrong. So this elevator's acting mad weird. We started a few floors up and fast forward to 45 minutes later, and the guys are still stuck in the elevator as the lights flicker and the temperature begins to rise from the summer heat. Alright, so the power is out. The backup. Yeah, there you go. The backup generator has been coming on and off. We've been having the time of our lives. And we're like cooking alive. Now, luckily, the hotel does have a backup generator, but unluckily, the generator seems to be malfunctioning. And here is where things start to get a bit weird, because for some unknown reason, the elevator takes them to the hotel's 16th floor, which is currently abandoned and under construction. Oh, no. Look, it worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. What is it again? All right. So, it's been doing this for a minute, and there's nothing out there. No. That did something. No, dude. I don't know. What is going on? Are we too heavy? Is there someone there? What the? The doors shut again, trapping them inside. But a little bit later, and finally, there's a silver lining as the elevator power seems to come back on. We're moving. Oh, finally. Thank you. Where are we going? Wait. Stop going. No, that's the same one as before. No way. All right. The power comes back on and the elevator starts to move. But inexplicably, it somehow just ends up back on the creepy abandoned 16th floor. At this point, the friends debate just stepping out and trying to find the stairs. But with the floor completely blacked out and under construction, they decide it's safer to just stay put. And now over an hour has passed, and the guys are starting to get a bit stir-crazy in the hot, cramped elevator. There you go. I got you. Oh, he's cooking something. What are you doing? Yep. I gotta pee. Oh, you gotta pee. It's making my bladder. I got to pee. You got to pee like a rapper. Go. I got to pee. I'm holding a ladder. Yeah, I got to pee. I don't know what else. I got to pee. It's making me mad. Guys, this is probably the worst thing anyone's ever. Now, shortly after this clip, power was fully restored and the guys finally made it down to the hotel lobby. They upload videos of their harrowing adventure on the elevator, but their viewers spot something truly chilling again. Did you see it? As the guys are goofing around while stuck on the creepy 16th floor, something black seems to appear behind them and rise up from the floor. So, just why did the elevator keep dragging them back to that closed-off 16th floor? And why was it shut down in the first place? But most importantly, what is this? Let me know what you think. Street Andrews Church. Stealth camper Chris from the YouTube channel Blot Outdoors Show sets out with his friend Mick on an overnight adventure to the abandoned street Andrews Church in Consett, England. The church was built in 1769 and it's been abandoned for nearly 50 years. We're going to do a stealth camp right next to this old spooky abandoned church. It's been abandoned since like the 1970 seconds. Now, it should be mentioned that Chris is not a ghost hunter, nor has he ever uploaded any videos related to the paranormal. In fact, he says he's a skeptic and doesn't really get spooked by that sort of thing. I mean, I'm very skeptical on that kind of stuff. So, I'm not going to try and Kaningo use mandingos if you know what I'm talking about. Now, to make this even creepier, the church is surrounded by an old graveyard. So, Chris and Mick set up their tent amongst the graves and relax. Soon, it gets dark and then the two guys decide to take a peek inside the old church. There we go, folks. Yeah. Well, like I say, I'm not scared, and I'm not one of these people that get to shiver up the spine of things like this. To me, it's not spooky. But we'll still have a look around. Like I said, guys, been abandoned since the 1970 seconds. Obviously, they must leave the door open now and again. I'm out of here. Sorry, guys. What the was that? I think Mixo. Yes. Fill these pans on. I think mix a nice big hole. That's the fastest I've ever seen you run. The two friends hear a loud bang that spooks them enough that they need a refreshing cold beverage in the graveyard. But after a bit of cold beverages, Chris is able to convince his friend Mick to go back inside the old creepy church once more. It did not go well. He's not happy about it. But I've convinced Mick to have one more look inside this so-called haunted church. Go on then. You ain't got a full... Oh, I'll first write you follow me. I think the first time we came in, I think we just let our imaginations run away with itself. Which is easy when you're in the pitch black and you're having a few. Just leave that door open, Mick. I mean, I can see why people come here, Mick, and do the old spooky ghostly tours and look for the paranormal readings and stuff like that. It's not my kind of thing. My kind of thing is sitting in a tent and getting mangled, spangled, and totally grim, crankled. But, each to the own. Wherever your hobby is, let's have a look over here. B, we got a photograph of young Chris. Are you? Oh, sorry guys, it's not young Chris. Apologies, it's Jesus Christ. Oh, the sun. Milky milk buttons. Yeah, milky buttons. What the mix? Shut that door. Right, guys? I'm not one of these ones. I get scared like that. But that's twice we've been in there, and twice I've heard a B. I think Mick's dropped his goods. I think he's filled his pants. It's all right, Nick. I've got some baby wipes in your bag. That was proper dodgy, that. Another loud bang echoes through the church and the two campers have had about enough. They spend the night outside in their tent and don't go back into the church for the rest of the night. Good night, guys. But did you see it? Chris and Maker are completely unaware of the dark shadow-like figure peering out at them from behind a doorway. That is until their loyal viewers pointed out to them in the video comment section. Now again, Chris and Mick are not ghost hunters, nor are they interested in ever making videos about the paranormal. So just who or what is this? You can watch this entire stealth camping adventure over on the YouTube channel Blot Outdoors Show. Here. Hi. Yeah. Are you Monday? Good. You alright? Yeah. Cop out, brothers. Jake and Noah Bruce are investigating the old abandoned Liberty High School in the small town of Ohio City, Ohio. The giant 4-story school was built in 1914 and is said to be haunted by multiple ghosts. Visitors claim to have seen several spirits, including the misty apparition of a young girl, a woman in white who roams the school hallways, and even the sinister angry spirit of a man who took his own life right behind the school. So Jake and Noah find bits of paranormal evidence here and there. Strange noises and weird voices on their spirit box. Dude, what the hell was that? That was bomb. That was running. That was running, dude. Dude, disappear. So guys, we are going to, has this been on? What was that? What the actual? They don't find much evidence of paranormal activity. But later, as the two brothers split up and Jake goes to do an EVP session in the school's basement, something happens that is absolutely terrifying. But it's not what Jake expects. Not at all. Mode. Please came to Gone Say to. Where you said holiday, Jake. Oh my god. Jake, was that inside? Yeah. Sure. Get down here now. Get down here, dude. No. You come with me, bro. That was on my level. Call the cops on my phone now. Call the cops. Call the cops, call the cops, call the cops. Cops. Call the cops. Get out. Turn your lights off. As Jake is doing his investigation, real gunshots ring out from somewhere in or around the abandoned school. That was gunshots. That was gunshots. Just sit down. Turn the light off. 911. Address your emergency. I'm at the old Liberty High School. Your shots fired. Please come here quick. Okay. Are you guys in a safe spot right now hiding? Kind of, but not really. Did you see anything? No. We just heard the gunshots right outside, and I ran up here, and then we hear them entering where it sounds like it. Okay, where does it sound like the shots came from? Outside on the north side. Eventually, the local sheriff's department arrives on the scene to investigate. Put your hands up. Poor sticking. Thank you all. Yep, we go over here. You guys armed at all? No, we have nothing. Are you the callers? Yes. Yeah, we are. So, what happened? Well, we're back here. We're in here, filming a ghost video of all things. And I was kind of standing down here in the cellar, and it sounded like it had to have been like in this parking lot, just like 7 shots. So, I ran up to him, where he was up in the gymnasium, and we just heard like rattling on the door, and that's when we were like, yeah, we should probably call. But now, this is when things get really weird. So, Jake and Noah are outside, but their static cameras are still in the school and are still filming as the policemen head inside. The officers don't find any armed gunmen, but they do find, something. Sheriff's office, or make yourself known. Heat, 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 heat. I heard something. I saw something. Oh, we got here. There's nobody in there, but there's something in there. Are you serious? For real? Yeah. Like, what do you mean? What? Let me just... For real. So, right there on the 2nd floor. Yes. We were looking this way. I heard pitter-patter. Like that along the... What would that be? The east wall. Yeah. And then he hears it at the end of the hallway. And as I'm taking my light down, I see something go like, are you guys dead ass? Swear like, no. But we were talking about you guys. We're like, let's just black out for a second. So we went completely black in there. And all of a sudden, we heard movement behind us. And we just ran for real. Because there's nobody in there. Okay. Wow, dude. I've never seen anything like that before. That's actually scared me. Good luck. Damn. Alright. Let us know. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Well, we appreciate you guys checking. Thank you guys so much. So, while Jake and Noah didn't seem to find any ghosts in the old abandoned Liberty High School, apparently the Ohio City Sheriff's Department did see something. There's nobody in there, but there's something in there. Something that they just can't explain. Dude, what the is happening? The cops saw a ghost. Yeah, I don't know. Guys, we are going to get out of here as fast as Weijing can. When in the history of paranormal have you seen cops on camera run out of a damn film and say good luck and leave? Yeah, The Last Passenger, Japanese explorer K from YouTube's Chicken Ball channel, travels to the old coal mining village of Yubari, hidden away in the remote countryside of Japan. Back in 1985, A disastrous gas explosion in the local mine tragically claimed the lives of 62 people. Today, the village is nearly deserted. To preserve the city's history, the local government built a museum and preserved the old railway station, along with passenger trains, wedge plows, and coal cars. The old train is said to be extremely haunted by victims of the tragic coal mine explosion. Now, it's already getting late when Explorer K arrives at the old preserved train station. His goal is to investigate whether any spirits of the deceased are left wandering the trains. Why did K sets up his cameras and sits in silence as he listens for anything out of the ordinary? That's when things take a creepy turn. Now, thank you. Hey, what a cool. The Explorer hears bizarre sounds coming from the train car as something seems to get closer and closer. Freaked out by the creepy activity, Kay eventually decides to just go home. But when he uploads his footage to YouTube, he realizes that he caught something on camera that he didn't even realize. His eagle-eyed viewer spots something downright chilling. Told it, "Did you see it?" As Kay walks through the train car, someone can be seen seated on the right side. But when the Explorer hears a sound and turns around, there's no one there. Watching the footage back, there was also no one there when he first walked through the train. Kay is completely alone. You can watch this full exploration over on the YouTube channel Chicken Ball Channel.
Think you're brave enough to handle what comes next? Prove it. Hit subscribe to Nightmare right now. Let's see how long you last.